Parents have asked me, what will be the learning process at Apple? What will be the curriculum? And I tell them, the curriculum will be decided by the child. We have broad level outlines where we'll say that the child will learn some micro motor skills, they will learn some macro motor skills. Micro motor skills would be using pottery and so on. Macro motor skills would be running around and doing things in the middle of nature, climbing trees. But at the higher level, while we have the curriculum, at the lower level, at the actual ground level, the curriculum is decided by the child. The child decides what they want to learn. So we might have mathematics as something that the child would be learning. But how would they be learning? So for example, a child that is left-brained, which is logical, would learn mathematics in numbers. A child that is right-brained, which is visual, would learn mathematics through pictures. I had a child who was fantastic in drawing, but could not relate to numbers. So this child drew a Lamborghini on an A4 size page and drew the same Lamborghini on an 18 feet by 8 feet screen. And if you watched the two, I can tell you they were to scale. But this child was visual. At the same time, the parents of the child told me, the child does not remember numbers. You teach fractions and in 3 months later, the person has no memory of what was taught. So some are visual, some are mathematical number based. Both are correct. Let the child learn in the way they are comfortable with. Now let me ask you, how did each one of us learn our first language, which would have been around the age of 1 or 2 years? I've got this acronym called OLA, O-L-L-A. Observe, listen, learn and apply. Children mimic what they see. So the children first observe, they listen to what we are doing, and based on that they learned what actions followed what they observed and listened. And then they applied. And that is why they spoke mama or dada or father as some of their first words. And slowly they kept on increasing their vocabulary. Nobody asked them to read or to write that language. They did not learn the first language by reading or writing. They learned it by observing, listening, learning and applying. My question to you is, what is wrong with it? Why can't we use the same process for learning for the rest of our lives? Look at the tribals. They may be illiterate, but they are not dumb. They are wise. They are wiser than most of us. One of my friends asked me a question. This was based on the behavior of tribals. In the forest, there are 2 ponds. One pond has very clear and clean water, but there is no life form in it. There is nothing swimming in it. There is nothing living in it. There is another pond in which the water is not as clean, but there are insects and all that floating in it, living in it. They are alive. Water from which pond will you drink? A tribal would drink water from the pond in which there are living organisms. Because water from the other pond where there is no life living in there could be poisonous. That's why there is nothing living in there. It may look clean, but it is poisonous. It is not healthy. The other one does not look clean, but it is healthy. That is the wisdom of a tribal. I have children come to my farm. I'll give an example. There was somebody who came to my farm. His father owns 4 fruit chain stores. And when he came to my farm, I had 650 banana plants. The first thing he did was he photographed a full banana growing on a plant and sent it to his father. And he said, this is how a banana grows. He had never seen a banana on a plant. There are so many kids, you ask them today, where do you get rice from? They will tell you the rice comes from factories. They don't know that rice grows in a field. And that is why we are not exposing our children to nature and the way they are. They're not able to observe, listen, learn and apply. Things are just given to them through textbooks. They should actually practically learn, learning by doing. And that is why we are saying Ola. The way we learned our first language, maybe we did not know to read or write it, but we learned it, to speak it, and to gain our wisdom from it. And that is how we should continue. This obsession with literacy, about reading and writing, needs to be put on the back burner. So at EBEL, we will have children reading and writing. We will encourage them to read and write. But the importance is going to be on learning, the process of learning. All learning at EBEL, most of it, will be through projects. Soon we'll have a project about making a bicycle or designing a solar cooker. And through that, children will learn about geography, how the earth is positioned during the day and so on. And they will play. So all learning will happen through play, not through textbooks, to actually doing. And when they are doing these things, what they are doing is also learning. So first is play. Through play they learn. And whatever they learn, they try and share. To share, they have to find ways to share. Now most education environments today want the children to write a report. We are saying no. There are so many ways to share. So the children can share by clicking a video, as you are learning from me now, or by clicking photographs. So whatever they have learned, they put it in photographs. They might try and put it in audio, so it's there as somebody to listen and learn what the child has learned. They can do sketches, and of course they can do text. So there are various ways, and therefore the children in EBEL will have their own textbook, and each textbook is different. While today's learning environment, you go to a school, the entire class or the entire set of students in 8th grade have the same textbook. It's so boring, and it completely destroys the uniqueness that a child has. So therefore, our mantra for the process of learning is OLA, O-L-L-A, observe, listen, learn and apply. And all learning should take place through projects, which is play, learn and share. If you look at it right now, Finland is trying to teach its kids through the projects. We at EBEL and Sapna are already doing it, and we have been doing it for more than 5 years. And if you look at it, the outcome of the way children learn, it is amazing. They surprise their parents because they are not limited by how we think. Their opportunities are based on how they think, how their opportunities are. And children are much wiser than we give them credit for. So let us apply OLA and play, learn, share as EBEL is trying to do. And we will have children become creative problem solvers. When they play, people fall. Falling is not that bad. What is more important is getting up and rising and doing the whole thing again. Today, failures are punished. While here, if you say you fall, you get hurt, you can mend yourself. Scars are the signs of learning. They are the signs of healing. They are the signs of strength. And therefore, by using OLA and play, learn, share, we are going to have children that create their own textbook, their own journal, and share it with the world so that the world can also learn from what they have learned.